All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to RPG Limit Break. It is Final Fantasy Randomizer time. What are we even doing tonight? We've got two runners during a Duckling boot camp. What's even happening here, Dead Pulse?
Oh, what is this madness? So we decided to put together a little mini tournament at the same time as the boot camp, and this is going to be for Platypus Plus, as I'm calling it, or the Platy Party. Basically, all the non-ducklings are going to be participating in a 3-week race to see who's going to be the Platymus Prime, and it's going to double as our boot camp, so the ducks can see what an actual race kind of looks like, give them maybe a little more preparation for the Duck Derby.
That's right. And this little mini tourney slash kind of thing that we're doing here is basically for anybody that has not won a singles tournament title, correct? So anybody that has not won spring tournament or SG Live?
SG Live or Winter Dab or
Winter Dab.
I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty much open to everybody that's not a Duckling and hasn't won a singles tournament. So there's quite a few people we got going on. We got obviously our two runners tonight. Chanigan and Shumbabi will be taking each other on here. We've got 13 other runners off stream. We have a time delay going, so these guys are going to start in about 8.5 minutes or so. So that gives me about 8.5 minutes to go through our flags tonight. So you're not going to see the flags. I'm just going to fly through them real quick. Here we go. Goal. Normal goal. Kill chaos. That's all you need to do. We got a long Topher, but we do have a Topher exit, so you don't have to have Warper exit to get out of Topher. Gold. Yeah, no. Gold, good. Enemies, squishy. Bosses, pretty good stats. Got clamped HP, so 100 to 150 HP there. Encounter rate, we got like 5 encounters per 256, so about 5/8 of what you would normally get. Not about. Exactly 5/8. EXP's pretty decent. Deads will gain EXP, so no danning off characters and trying to get all your EXP onto one character. That is not happening today. Your deads will, in fact, gain all that EXP. We got 20 incentive locations, 20 incentive items. Our locations are Ice Cave, a random chest and ordeals, Marsh Cave, Behind the Rod Plate and Earth Cave, a random chest and volcano, and Sky. Our items are standard stuff, and we threw a Vorpal in there just to kind of hang out with you. As far as map and routing concerned, pretty standard stuff that you normally see. The only thing I'd like to make mention is that a vampire attacks a random town, and we have the Lefane Superstore. Basically what that means is that instead of having only level 8 magic there, you have all level 1s through 8 magic spell shops there in Lefane. It's pretty awesome. Under treasures and freebies, we got a free bridge. Nothing too crazy. We do have our first monster in a box flag turned on for this week. So we have 60 trapped chests. They will be marked, so you will know what chests are going to be trapped. And then we will have rare treasures in them, but no key items. So key items will not be inside of these trapped chests. Keep it on moving. We've got improved Cure, Heal, Lamp, and Amute spells. Don't really know what that does, but whatever, it's fine. Shuffle status attacks is a thing. We've got random status attacks, but we've removed Stun Touch because no one likes to be stun locked. Trap tiles are turned off because we have Monster in a Box turned on. So I feel like it's kind of like a yin and yang, Lastly, standard opening party classes, no nuns, because there's no reason to have nuns, because deads gain EXP. Couple of blur scenes, couple of malices, or 1 malice, 2 bonuses for class blur scenes. We got 20 tents to start off with. We've got -2 to +5 blurst weapons and armor. And we've got save when game over. And that's pretty much it. I kind of flew through that. So
yeah, well, the 2 takeaways for that are definitely going to be save when game over. So the kind of one of the gut reactions is, oh, I'm going to lose to this fight. I'm going to reset out of it. Well, don't reset out of it this week, because when you die, it will save the game and it will throw you outside of the dungeon that you were just in. So basically, if you take a monster in a box deep into a dungeon and you die, everything you've done up to that point will be saved. So it's a little bit of a new player flag, but I've seen it used in other applications. And then the other flag that's really important is in the bonuses, the spellcasting bonus. This is the first week that we're turning it on. This means that all characters can have a spellcasting bonus, such as fighter gains ninja spells, or can have black mage spells, or what have you. Speaking of bonuses, Greg, you want to run over what the bonuses are for this race?
Yeah, so kind of shocked that Shoon Bobby's bringing the thief, because the thief bonuses aren't really that great. But we'll start with the fighter first. The fighter gets an automatic level 1 black magic spell, so they will get 2 charges of black magic spells at level 1, and that's it. That's all they get, is just those 2 charges, but it's still some black magic action. They can equip a black shirt, so if we see one, maybe that'll be fine for the fighter. I don't know why they would use it. Maybe for some of that time resistance. And then the malice is going to be black mage strength, which is not really much of a malice, because strength isn't really that great of a thing.
Well, that's in the fighter, right?
Yeah.
So that changes the growth from 100% chance every level to gain a point of strength to 25% chance. So it's just going to be like, let's say you go up to level 24. That means you're losing about 18 strength, which equates to about 9 damage per hit. So if you're swinging 4 times, it's going to 36 damage taken off of that. That's not a lot.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying about the thieves, kind of shocking that Shoon's bringing one. The bonus is plus 15 MDef, which is good. We got fighter strength, which is, again, we just talked about the strength and how it's not really, that great. And then the big malice here is negative 15 agility. We don't have an agility bonus on the thief, so it's not a huge deal, but it's still like, okay, that's definitely a thing. Black belt, which no one's going to bring here because of the deads gaining EXP, but we do have their blessings here. We have a fighter armor, if you're into that, and a plus 20 HP, and their malice is negative 10 agility. As far as red mage is concerned, we got a plus 7 luck, a plus 2 to level 1 MP, and their malice is going to be a negative 15 strength. So that's kind of huge for the red mage. Just to be able to run away from things if you need to run away, and then of course to have that extra level 1 MP. It's pretty awesome. White mages are going to have a plus 15 hit percentage and a plus 10 luck, but their malice is going to be negative 20 HP. So while they're able to run away from things and hit more than usual, they are going to start off with like 5 HP. And then lastly, our black mage has a bonus of 5 luck and a plus 15 strength. But their malice, again, apparently this is the huge malice that's going across all the classes, is negative 10 agility.
Nobody's got agility. So, Greg LaPuff, we got 2 minutes before looks like the race starts. What party are you taking?
I would take the Chanigan party. By far, fast. It's all about speed and power, right? You've got just incredible run chance with this party. You've got all the black magic you could ever want out of this party, and I feel the other 2 melee classes just aren't worth bringing along. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens going into level 1, but like if you get like a level 1 fire 3 or ice 3 and all 4 of these fools can cast it, you're doing a lot of damage out of the gate.
Yeah, that's true. I personally would have gone with Fighter Rainbow, just because I have level 1 Black Mage spells, so I'll get 2 charges with the fighter. So if there's something good, that's great. Hopefully Saber rolls there. But I don't want to be locked out of life, because this is a long Topher, and those Black Mages aren't going to have enough health to survive a nuclear. It just scares me. Like if those 2 black mages go down and now I'm just rocking a fighter and a red mage that doesn't have life, it just terrifies me trying to get into Tiamat and Chaos himself.
For sure. No, I get you. That's definitely your kind of like the safety strats for sure. Bringing like the red mage is more of like you don't care. You're just gonna hope that you can You're just gonna hope you can power through things and kill the bosses before they kill you, kind of move. But these guys should be starting here any moment. Their stream delay just ended at the 10-minute mark, so these guys should be going any second now. So we'll see what's happening in Canary and how things are going to go. And here we go, Chanigan off to the races. What do we have at level 1? Ooh, Cure 4 and Exit both out of that red mage. But level 1 nuke, holy moly. That is a lot of nuke there for Chanigan.
Oh my, and level 1 fast. So now we have already determined that if we run into just a fighter by the end, we probably still have a win condition. And it's not, this isn't even punishing, because with, you got Cure 3 there. Yeah, it's not Cure 4, but gold -1 bracelets for sale for 32K.
Yeah, that gold -4 is not great, obviously. Like, not only does it cost a lot, but, it's basically a silver bracelet.
Yeah. What I wanted to point out, both players exited Canary and started their way to Temple of Fiends sub 45 second, which I'm always a proponent of that.
Yeah, so what's your thought on this? If you're Chanigan, Shum obviously has the white mage, so has the exit, but only has 2 nuke casts with the fighter and the black mage. Chanigan running just full on, doesn't care about the exit. What do you think of that plan for Chanigan?
You know, if I had 4 nuke casters, I would absolutely just go to Chaos at this point, because that's your win. All you need to do is you're going to have probably 29 casts of nuke going in, maybe even 31 casts of nuke going into Temple of Fiends. You probably have enough.
Yeah, and it looks like it's already paying dividends here. Chanigan's way out in front here. Shum checking boxes, realizing that we got our first our first monster in a box tile, which appears to be Mana Course opening with nuke, which is the kind of one of those things you don't want to see when you're trying to nuke down a group of pretty juicy EXP.
Here, I have to interrupt for a second. I need to redo Shum's crop because his stream is bugging out.
All right, we'll continue talking about Chanigan and do some technical delays. Are you going to restart the whole thing?
I'll just be restarting Shum's set. I'll have a technical difficulty sign up for a second on hand, so no worries. I'll get him working out.
And of course, we didn't have time to do introductions. I am Deadpaul, Scraggly Puff, of course, joining me in the booth. Dark Moon on Restream, and we have Autumn Out of Habit being our tracker. So thanks all around.
Yeah. So check it out here. Over on Chanigan's side, silver bracelets +5 for about a tenth of what those gold bracelets -4 are worth. So yeah, that's kind of good. Doesn't have the money for that, obviously. So we went on ahead and bought those cloth +5, which are basically like it's pretty good. It's like what 11 absorb for that cloth
yeah.
+5.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh,
oh my!
So we got
this.
temper. Oof.
We had Fade also at level 2 white magic, so So you're not. I don't think anyone's really punished. I mean, the more red mages in this, the merrier, because you have access to fast, temper, nuke, and fade. Not cure 4, but you will have access to exit. I think that's going to be the major kind of thing right now. Chanigan has come out in the lead with this, but foregoing that exit, it's very possible that someone who brought a white mage is going to save, a minute here, a minute there.
Yeah. Now, yeah, I'm just kind of looking at everything right now. So we have an herb, we have a bottle, and we have a canoe, is what it looks like we have going on. Chanigan, what do you do in this situation when you're with the herb? Are you going back around to Elfland and then potentially hitting a marsh cave? Or are you going to go get the free item out of the sages and then head over?
I'm getting the free item every time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm just double checking here real quick to make sure Marsh is even incentivized before I talk about how great going to Marsh Cave would be. Yep, it is incentivized. And since key items aren't, I was going to say, since key items aren't blocked by monster in a boxes and we don't have spike tiles, I mean, that crown is pretty free, huh?
Yeah.
Oof, that's a rough looking battle right there.
But that's juicy experience, though. I'll tell you what.
Especially early on. You may as well save and pray to the RNG guys that you can get one of your 4 nukes out. And it looks like we're going to get some pretty juicy EXP here from this battle. I would save and try to take down that giant frost wolf battle again. Good lord, I couldn't talk there for a second.
Yeah, as long as we can get... it seemed like it ambushed him the first time, but it's not doing that this time. Oh, and they have Scorch. That's not bad, but that's not great.
Scorch is... I don't know. It doesn't... It's a pretty low-level fire elemental. It's not as low level as something like Heat. But as you can see, that nuke went way out and pretty much crushed everybody. Unfortunately, our fighter lost his life, but Dead's gained EXP, so that fighter's still going to get all the juicy EXP from that battle. We got a pro ring for our trouble, so that's kind of cool.
And the beautiful part, so we've taken 2 of these monster in a box. We are already level 8. So that means that those black mages are going to have access to level 4 spells. So I don't mind this play too much because we can go try to find warp. Oh, and look, it's level 3. You know what?
Yeah.
Everyone is going to be requesting me rolling seeds from now on because I don't know how this could be any better.
Yeah. I was questioning Chanigan's plan. Ooh. No life 2 though. That's unfortunate. Life 2 unfortunately rolls out of that red mage. Only white mage learnable, so that's going to be good for Shun Bobby. But Chanigan has warp charges for days, so that completely negates the whole exit thing that we were talking about earlier. And I mean, I'm not sure I'm picking up Brack. It's a little expensive.
No. I can understand it, but I don't think there would be. I have 4 nuke casters. I don't think that I'm going to be casting Brack on anyone.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would consider doing is I think he picked up a wizard stick out of one of those boxes. That thing's going to sell for a ton of money. I would get rid of that thing and then potentially pick up all the magic we want to pick up here so we don't ever have to go back into this town again. So let's see if he decides to do that, if he remembers he grabbed that. Oh, look at that. That's why Chanigan's so good.
Okay, so as an update, the issues do appear to just be on Shun Bobby's side, so this will be the best that we can get.
Okay.
We can see most of what's going on.
Yeah, Shun needs to be cropped a tiny bit, but it's fine. Oh, actually, I can't tell. But Shun Bobby is inside of Ice Cave, so that was one of the other ideas that we thought maybe would work out is to head towards Ice Cave. Chanigan was going to go to Marsh Cave, but forgot he had the herb. Good thing you remembered before wandering out of here. And there's our floater. Wow.
Oh my.
Wow, that's really good news for Chanigan. And Shun Bobby is just hanging out in Ice Cave doing Ice Cave things without warp unless he went to Elfland and we just missed it. But from what I can tell, I don't think he has it.
Yeah, I don't believe so. So yeah, this is pretty much heads up from Chanigan. I probably would have gone the other way around just to get the free item to see if that was the floater. But then at that point when it wasn't, I would have definitely kept going over to Elfland, turn in the herb because it's another free item. But it looks like this can be faster.
Yeah. So yeah, Shun Bobby does not have the warp that we know is at level 3, so he's going to have to do kind of the long way through this. Luckily, not going to have to deal with either spike tiles, the drop down, or the eye tile. So it shouldn't be too hard to go on ahead and get that incentive item and then use exit to get out of here. Chanigan did not want to see that canal. So kind of lost you kind of had like a 33% chance that the canal was going to be there, Ice Cave, or, well, I guess a 25% chance since Volcano is still on the table as well. Canal can only spawn in the inner sea, so you knew Canal was going to be somewhere in the inner sea.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ice Cave, actually, I'm gonna change my mind because with Ice Cave, there's no trap tiles, there's no spike tiles. So Ice Cave, yeah, without having warp, it does feel bad, but at the same time, it's not as scary. I would definitely dive in at level 4.
Yeah. So here we go. Chanigan taking down Astos, up to level 9 now. Getting the slab, so that's at least a turn-in you can kind of route in together since we do have the bottle and we're right next to Melman anyway. So we can head up Melman, do the slap translations. If we have enough money, go on ahead and get all the, whatever magic you need. And what is this Melman? This is a prosperous Melman here. I've never seen this.
Yeah, so this is one of the first times that we've had vampire attacks a random town. We haven't seen the town yet, but if you'll notice, Melman is thriving. It's got an item shop. It's got a church, an inn, a reviving place. Whatever you call it.
Clinic.
Clinic. Thank you very much.
That's what they call them, I think.
The technical term. Now, I didn't see if Chanigan went by and stopped at Sarda.
He did. Sarda gave him the crown. So Chanigan, I guess that must have been a monster in a box. Didn't want to take it.
So I think we're just looking for monies at this point.
And there's the rod. So Ice Cave is going to be required. So while this kind of while Shumbabi may seem behind on paper or on stream because he's not in the air yet, he does have the rod, and Ice Cave is one of those places a lot of people don't like to go. I can imagine that Chanigan may find that rod a little bit later than other runners would that would have gone to Ice Cave early like this. And I imagine Shumbabi's going to be in the air here and in the next 5 minutes because he's going to do that herb turn in and get that canal out of here from Crescent, so it shouldn't be too long for him.
I do like what Chanigan is doing here, checking these kind of free checks, seeing if there is monster in a box in here just to get a couple of levels, because why not? If you'll notice all of these, you're not going to find good items in non-trapped chests. You might find maybe, a cap +1 or something like that, but probably not your pro rings, not your mass immune, your katanas, anything that you would consider endgame. So just keep that in mind. But definitely Chanigan checking out. So going in, seeing if there's monster in the box. You'll notice on the second cardia check, he saved in the air, went into check. When he didn't see a monster in the box, he immediately reset out. Just saves a couple of seconds. So the crystal is actually 56,000 gold in Gaia. But we have the bottle, which turns into the Oxyale. What is this, vanilla?
Is this game even randomized here? So what are we up to? We've only seen a few of our go mode items. Obviously, canoe and floater are they're not really go mode, but they're go mode in this flag set. But Oxyale and Rod, definitely go mode. We haven't seen Cube, Chime, Key, or Loot yet. And hey, look, LaFane. Poor LaFane.
Yeah, if you'll notice, LaFane has a bunch of desert tiles. The vampire attacked this, and gets the chime.
Oh my god, is this game randomized? And then here's our LaFane Superstore over here. You can get all your magic you could ever want. All your level 1 through 6. If you didn't get it anywhere else, you can find it here.
Yep, but we were looking for a life spell. We did not find it.
Yeah.
And just kind of showing off what we have in this magic shop. I mean, honestly, we have Nuke, we have Fast, we have Temper, we have Warp. We already saw the locks, we saw Brack. I mean, I guess, I don't know what else I'd take.
I mean,
I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and right now, as you can see, I remember I said 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, and Shumbabi's already in the air and has gotten his Oxyale. So I mean, he's moving, or he did something. I can't really tell.
Chanigan. Yeah, he's getting his crown. Chanigan making his way over to Ordeals. Now remember, this is random, so there's always a chance that the linked chest, which is outside, what is it? The floor with the 4 choices in it.
Yep.
That could be your check, and if you had exit, you could easily get out.
Yep. And without spike tiles turned on, I mean, it's a free check.
Yeah.
So let's see if he decides to do it. And it's not one of our chests, but that's not a huge deal. You'll notice here that Chanigan kind of doesn't seem like he knows where he's going, and that's because The pillars are randomized for those that have never seen Final Fantasy Randomizer before. Pillars and ordeals will always be random forever because that's just kind of the way we do things here at the Final Fantasy Randomizer. And yeah, so it looks like we've made our way through the pillar maze. Man-Cat's doing man-cat things, just being annoying, but at least they're not spamming Fire 2.
Yeah, that's that's probably a good thing. But you'll notice that the encounter didn't give a lot of experience. I mean, 1,000 experience is pretty good. Oh, and we find the key in here, so ordeals is going to be required.
Yeah, so that's kind of another place you may want to try not to come to, especially, getting the floater where we found the floater, because it is harder to get to ordeals via airship than it is via ship canoe situation. So I know a lot of people will try not to go to ordeals because of it. But, I mean, ordeals is a pretty quick check, so who knows?
Oh, yeah,
Ooh,
we got
Aegis
that
shield.
Aegis shield. Very nice.
Yep.
We're out of here, so that wasn't so bad. Shumbabi taking the rod from his ice gain get and going in to get the incentive out of here. I really like this.
And if this ends up being like the loot, this is going to be a huge... I think this will put Shumbabi way ahead. Just because it's 2 key items. The rod specifically out of Ice Cave, maybe something Chanigan may not be interested. Oh, never mind, because he's going to Ice Cave. So much for that. So much for that I thought Shum may or may not have.
Well, the only weapon that we would consider, the only thing we would consider right now as a dud would be the Vorpal. You could make the argument that tail is irrelevant for Chanigan. If we find the master now with this, like in those 60 trapped chests, there is a real possibility. And when I say that, I mean almost 100% that the master is going to be in one of those chests. So if you check 30 of them, you'll probably have a 50-50 shot of getting the massa, in which case you wouldn't need to promote. But at the same time, you still might find something else good, like a flame sword or a coral sword, something that'll be usable to get to chaos. And then with all of the fast and the tempers that you have, it doesn't matter. You could be swinging an iron hammer -3. You get enough tempers in that, you're gonna bonk pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Shum is on that floor. So he's got 8 chests to check here. We know the key item won't be in here, but may as well take it because you got nukes, fades, all the things you need to do. And it's a good way to get EXP is to take these monster in the boxes. Chanigan gonna get his rod and probably just warp out of here. Gonna fight trolls and bulls here, which we already knew were gonna be in this box. Xcal, what was that, a +2 or -2?
That was a plus.
There's our loot. Oh my god, am I a prophet or what?
Oh my goodness. So definitely super required. But that, oh my goodness. So we're only missing the cube, I think.
The cube, and I imagine Chanigan's going to go to Earth Cave here pretty soon, unless he decides to full clear volcano because he's in the area. That is good. In my opinion, this is good proximity routing. Obviously, he's not going to get, unless the cube is here, he's not going to get what he wants.
But it'll at least be information.
Yeah. And this is a great place to full clear. It's one of my favorite dungeons to full clear. You don't really see that many encounters. All the chests are on literally 2 floors. So I don't know. It's just it's one of the easier places in my mind to full clear.
There's our flame sword +3. I'd take that all the way to the end game.
Oh, for sure. Especially with temper and fast at levels 1 and 2. I mean, you can make a flame sword turn into a massa in maybe a round or 2 of combat. What do we got here?
Oh, and a sun sword +2. There we go.
Right. And now we got a way to kill Lich and Lich 2. So here's something I like to do on this floor, and I must be the only person that does it. I like to warp from here, go back into the floor, and then there's that first door right when you walk onto this floor, and you come back up through this room. It's a few less steps than coming back through this hairpin. I kind of described it very poorly, but just use warp whenever you check that box, and then go back in.
Yeah, I will routinely check the first boxes on the right side. Oh, this is
What's
not great.
What's going on
on the Shum side? Lich did something.
Uh-oh, is this Nuke gonna do it? No, it doesn't do it. He's got 12 HP. Ink comes
he's
out.
black shirting at this point
it.
because that's all he's
Oh.
got.
Oh my god, can the black shirt do it? 36. Hold lands. Does it land? He cures.
Procured ink.
Ink, come on. Black shirt. Oh, glitch it
no.
for 25. No. Oh, that's devastating.
Well, devastating. We did get the save though, so the save is off. We only have to redive it. It's only going to be a minute and a half. It stinks.
Actually, do you even?
That's
No,
how
you
it
don't have
went,
to.
but-
I was gonna say you don't even have to really redive it until the end because he's got his loot.
Correct.
I mean, obviously you have to go back in and light up the earth orb, but
Yep, and that was just a bad turn order for him because he wasn't able to get off a nuke or a fade. And we're selling the black shirt.
yeah,
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, get rid of that black shirt there. Channing gets a ribbon, which we kind of missed. We were too busy staring at Shumbabi, but he got a ribbon out of that little hairpin area. There was a spike tile, or I'm sorry, a monster in a box there. Ooh, he's already Ooh, that ruby is not what he wanted to see because Titan Strobe is
Nope.
definitely not turned on.
Yep.
Luckily, he doesn't really need to check any boxes, but I feel like he would be on the same camp as you, like maybe potentially only checking trapped boxes. Oh no, we gotta get pushed.
Ick.
This is a wipe. He's gonna have to watch this whole battle go through because obviously he's gonna want to save what he got. So here we go. This should do it. Soup. Oh no, Soup might survive. Oh, that ribbon, doing ribbon things.
We're armored up. This is possibly a mistake. I mean, I know that it was for a pro ring, but we don't have life. We have to kill off that red mage. Or maybe we're just going for it. We got a bunch of nuke casts. We got a ribbon. We're feeling fine.
I don't know. I might have walked over here to this damage tile, damaged myself down to 1, and oh no, I mean you can't take the Gurmaduses again. Never mind.
Oh no. Shumbabi decided, I didn't see if Shumbabi bought the crystal. I know he was trying to get money for it.
Mm-hmm. I'm really
But we're
struggling.
over in Waterfall now.
Well, it looks like Channigan's bringing his people back to life. I imagine he goes back into Volcano and just goes and beelines carry. Shum and Waterfall, like you said, I don't know if he grabbed the crystal. Maybe we'll be able to see his inventory at some point. Channigan is going to go on ahead and go back in and kill Carrie.
This is not a bad decision because you don't ever want to come back here, and there was nothing in level 6 magic that's really going to be worth it. At the same time, it's only a flight away, and when you're higher level, it's going to be so much easier. I say that, and then I realize, yeah, we've got a bunch of casts of nukes, so we're probably fine. But
Yeah.
it's just a little something to think about. Like, oh, I could do this at level 10, or I could wait until I'm level 25 and have a 100% chance of success.
So Shum gets the tail out of Waterfall. I think the tail is a little bit more useful on Shum's side, only because he does have that Excal +2 that he found in an Earth Cave, but not going to do promo. He's going to go on ahead and head into Sea Shrine, and Sea Shrine is not incentivized.
Sea Shrine is not incentivized.
I'm
Now,
interested to know where
do-
Shum is going.
Well, I do like this. There's a lot of chests down there. And if you're looking for chest density, you're not going to find a better place. But, those red hags just working him over.
Yeah, luckily he makes it down here, but oh, we got the power bonk pickup on Channigan's side here. So that again, just like more kind of good gear that's gonna make even the not greatest of swords work out. That Sun +2 that he found could potentially be an end gamer with with a bonk and a bunch of tempers and fast and all that. All right, looks like we got another monster in a box here over on Shan's side. Let's see what we got. Big old pack of
delicious.
metal slimes. Shun killing Bubbles. Poor Bubbles.
Now, while we're here, this still is our week 4 of the Duckling boot camp. Greg, can you give me a little more explanation about Monster in a Box? So, what does it look like? What do I do, basically?
So, Monster in a Box is basically our version of what Final Fantasy turned into later on, right? You know, there are certain boxes in the game where there's a monster in a box. You have to kill it to get whatever item is in it, right? The way that we have it set up here is there are 60 boxes in the game that will be guarded by an encounter. Those encounters are always going to be B-side spike tile encounters. And what that means is that if you've ever played with trap tiles turned on, but using alternative formations, that is the type of formations you'll see. So you'll see like big packs of slimes, you know, just what you've seen so far. You know, you can see a 3-eye tile, you know, a bunch of Gasties, a bunch of Bluties, worms, stuff, just kind of more difficult formations, I guess is a good way to describe it. The way we have this set up is you're only getting rare items out of these boxes, so basically good gear, like elite gear, but no key items will be behind these monster boxes. So you'll never have to worry about getting gated out of, you know, like having to do an early marsh dive at like level 2, and it's guarded by iron golems that you can't kill, and it's progression, so you have to, like, you know, grind up to like level 20 just to kill iron golems so you can get your canal to get out of the inner sea or whatever.
So 2 quick questions. The first one that I have is for one monster in a box for that pro rank that Channing was looking at. When he opened it, it said it didn't immediately load at the battle. It just said, you know, can't hold pro rank. What's the deal with that?
So he had his inventory was full. So what normally happens if you don't have monster in a box turned on and your inventory is full is it will tell you, hey, you can't hold certain items. It kind of bugs it with monster in a box because it does that same kind of like text, but it doesn't open the battle because you can't put the gear on yet. That's pretty much it.
Right. And then the second one is, so at what point do I get the item? Like we can obviously run from these battles if they're runnable. But we have to fight the monster, complete the battle. So even if the monsters run away, you've still technically won the battle. So after the battle, that's when you'll be getting the item out of it.
Yep. So Channing almost in go mode here at this point because he's about to head into Earth Cave. We know the loot is down here. The only thing we haven't seen is the cube yet. Shum, out of the Sea Shrine area, doing, I guess went back into Gaia, picked up that crystal. We're doing the chime now. He already had the Oxtail, so a lot of double dipping over here on Shum's side.
Well, yeah, we wiped out of the monster in a box in Mermaid's side.
Yeah.
Another thing, just to note, so Channing had picked up an ice +5 from the monster in a box. That was the red D vanilla incentive location item inside of Volcano. The TNT.
TNT. Yeah, so this is kind of the more interesting thing. If this vendor item ends up leading the cube, obviously we'll know what every item is that is required. Cube can't be in Sky, so at this point we know that Sky is potentially the Vorpal, huh?
Yeah, that's what it's looking to be.
Or at least it's something that leads to the Vorpal. So at this point that crystal's gotta lead to the cube, because we don't have any other locations left, and there it is. Hey, we deduced things. What can I say?
We did a thing.
We did a thing. So Shum, what he needs to do, right? Only place he really needs to go is to go to Ordeals and get the key, and he'll be in go mode.
Correct.
Channing gonna have the loot here in just a moment, and then just needs to get that crystal from the vendor item and, you know, TNT to cube, and he'll be in go mode. So again, they've had different paths, but these guys are really, really close together.
So there is something scary that I would like to point out. So Shumbabi only has 2 incentive locations, quote unquote, that are left, and that's going to be Ordeals and Sky. He has access to Sky, so he might make the gamble that the key is in Sky. We know that it's not. So he's not in a great position. He's at a 50-50 juncture. Meanwhile, the way that Chanigan went, he has to get that crystal because it's going to turn into the cube. So he can't even go into Sky yet to find out it's the Womp Womp Florple.
Yeah, he's in a 50-50, but his 50-50 is a lot better because if he goes to Waterfall, gets the tail, he can immediately just reset out and then whatever, and then get the vendor item if he wants to. I mean, it's just less time into his as far as unlike Shumbabi, who is going to have to go through Sky. But if he really wants to take the risk, he could go mode Sky and just check the incentive box because it is the vanilla box. It's not a random box.
This is true, and it looks like that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and he could get some juicy EXP without having to actually open any boxes.
So I'm going to try to check their levels the next time that we see them. If I had to guess, I'm going to say Chanigan somewhere in the 18 range.
Yeah, Shum is a little bit lower level.
14, 15-ish maybe?
Shum's got better gear, because I think I noticed that Chanigan picked up a katana +3 in Earth, which I'm sure Shum picked up as well. So between that and the X-Cal, that's pretty good for his party. I'm assuming Chanigan grabbed that X-Cal that was in Earth Cave as well. But he doesn't have the tail, so he can't use it yet. So Shum, better gear as far as in-game is concerned. But I mean, we can make a lot happen. Again, like I said, with that Sun +2 or that Ice +5 right now. Chanigan gonna light up his second orb here. Shum still has no orbs lit. We know this is gonna be the Vorpal, or at least the adamant that leads to the Vorpal. And that stinks for Shumbabi too, because he's gonna have to go turn in that adamant to realize it's not the key. And Chanigan makes short work of Lich. Wow.
Yeah, that was... did not have the same problem Shumbabi did. Oh, and Shumbabi finding the Gurmadusas with Lit 3. Oh, Shumbabi has wiped out of 3 different dungeons now.
Yeah.
And that's just awful because, and you know what, that's going to happen sometimes. It seems like Chanigan's getting decent turn order on bosses. Shumbabi is getting the opposite of that.
Yeah. And that just happens sometimes. Luckily, again, he watched the whole battle go down, so he can go on ahead and turn in this adamant, get his Vorpal -2, and then in his brain, he's like, oh my lord, what is even happening? And he does not have that katana that I saw Chanigan pick up.
No.
He must not have checked that chest, or couldn't get through that chest. I'm really struggling to see what's going on there. I feel like I think somebody in chat made a joke about the shroom. And that's what I feel like it's happening to me right now, watching Shumbabi stream. Is like I'm on some sort of hallucinogens. And what can be in Marsh Cave? I know it's incentivized, but what are we missing? The ship? The ship.
Oh my gosh, it's the ship.
It's the ship.
Well, because at this point now it's a 50-50 whether the ship is here or whether it's another incentive item.
Yeah, and there's the ship
resets, yeah.
Yeah. But
he hasn't done Volcano yet.
Oh. Yeah, and that's going to be the Ruby, and he's still looking for that key. He's doing everything he can not to go to Ordeals.
Oh, my goodness.
But he's heading to Ordeals now, so that's at least good. He's not going to have to, clear out Volcano to get the Womp Womp Ruby.
Yeah, I like this play, but I can see both sides of this coin because Volcano has a lot of chests in it. You can get a lot of experience there, and it's relatively the easiest fiend dungeon to get a lot of chests out of while you're still making your way to the boss. But that's a lot of time, especially if it's going to be a dud item. And you don't know where, like on this one, it just so happened that it was in the armory. And yeah, 40% of the time, the incentive item in random is going to land in the armory. But if it lands, in the Agama chests or something that's deep It's still 3-4 minutes time loss, so I can definitely see why Shumbabi decided to put off Volcano until the very end.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Channing and Sea Shrine, just proximity. Obviously got that tail. May as well kill Kraken along the way. We're level 19 here on Channin's side. So with the scaling, I don't know, the extra HP kind of scares me. Not really that much. I think he's looking pretty good. As long as he takes some battles in Sky along the way, he should be a good, 20, 21 before he heads into Topher, and he'll be in pretty good shape. The only real equalizer here is if, something has a first turn nuke or nuclear on this party and he has no way to res his party if he loses a bunch of people.
Yeah, personally, I always get nervous when I'm racing and I see level 1 nuke, level 2 fade. Everything seems to be pretty friendly. I'm just waiting for, when the shoe's going to drop. Keep in mind that we know that Gurmedusas have lit 3 and they love to ambush. Well, guess what? That's on the earth floor in Temple of Fiends.
So far, we've only seen the one ribbon that was in Volcano, which Shun may not even find. Because he's got his key now. He's in go mode. He's got to feel pretty far behind because of all the wipes he's taken. I don't see him checking that hairpin.
I don't either. I think at this point, you have to get levels and you have to go.
All right, so Channing going to go on ahead and pull up Kraken. First time look at Kraken here.
So notice we moved the red mage up to protect the fighter because our plan is that the fighter is going to be swinging that probably Ice 5.
Yeah.
We are casting Brax.
Got a fast coming out here. So it's a Sun +2 actually is what it looks like he's swinging here. Shun back into Sky, going to try to make his way up there. Knows he doesn't need to get the adamant, so just going to kind of plow through and try to get the Tiamat and at least light an orb here. Luckily, Kraken only opening with a couple of Fire 2s so far. So at this point, I feel like Channin's got to go with that Sun Sword. Bunch of Tempers coming out now. Invis 2s just to make sure we keep the evade up. We are switching to Brax strats. Kraken fast himself. 7 hits for an undetermined amount of damage. I did not see that. More Brack coming out here. So here's my issue with this. Are we the Brack worked fine there, but you got to lean into one thing or the other, right? If you're going to lean into Brack, go on ahead and just cast a ton of Bracks and go for that. But I'm not a huge fan of the wishy-washy, am I doing fast and Tempers and then Brack? Dump all your Tempers out or dump all your Bracks out.
Or dump all your nukes.
Yeah, or dump all your nukes. So again, not to get too critical on Channing against play because he's a dang good runner, but figured I'd at least mention that.
Yeah. On Shumbabi's side, while this was going on, we ran into guards that had something not great. I didn't see what the spell was, but it took out 2 of Shumbabi's characters. Because he has the white mage, he was able to bring back those characters and continue on. We're checking the green chest here on Sky, including that monster in a box, which is 2 wyverns.
Yeah, wyvern should go down pretty easily here. You may notice on Channing's side, he's fighting Bahamut. Bahamut has the same stats as an Ankylo, just for those that want to know. But there we go. We got our X-Scout 2 on with the +30 elemental damage. That is as good as it's going to get. It's not going to be great against Chaos, but it's going to be good to get, to get your way through Topher. So Channing's in the driver's seat, in my opinion.
Yeah, we just have to buy the crystal, change it into the cube, and then go. And we're at, 38 minutes, 50 seconds. Now, the Duckling Weekly, that's going to be posted after this race, probably is not going to be as good as, the magic that they've seen. How many races have you actually raced where Nuke was level 1 and Fade was level 2? It doesn't happen as much as it should.
I mean, not only that, you got Nuke fast, exit, Cure 3, Cure 4, you got Fade, Invis 2, Temper, Warp. I mean, like everything landed. And Life 2 was also level 3. So I mean, pretty much every spell landed, under level 4, which is like, that's pretty good. So Channing gonna say hi to the Parade Dwarf. Give the TNT, the stick of dynamite. I know they're two different things, but whatever. To Narek down here to get his cube, and Channing now in go mode. Gonna check this one last thing. Maybe hopefully get something good. Ooh, Iron Golems. That's pretty cool.
That's a delicious amount of experience.
Ooh, Shum only hit 5 for 84. I didn't see what he was swinging or who swung what, but that could not have looked good.
No, that was the Vorpal -2.
Yeah, ooh, that explains a lot. Not doing a ton of damage over here. The X-Cal is going to do significantly more damage than a Vorpal -2, especially in the hands of a fighter versus the Thief here. X-Cal, 7 hits, 414. Yeah, that's what happens when an X-Cal +2 plus the 30 plus elemental type damage bonus thing is turned on. Kind of messes up your fiend battles.
Yeah, and I did not see what Channigan got from the monster in a box inside of Dwarf Armory.
It was a coral +5, so
Oh, great.
basically, yeah, not worth picking up. I would say it would be good against Kraken too, but you got the X-Cal +2. So let's explain what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the bonus type thing. So X-Cal by itself has it basically. I'm struggling trying to put my words
Let's
together
start
here.
with there's monster types.
Yes, thank you. Why don't you do those?
All right, so there are monster types, and basically they all have a lot of monsters have weaknesses. For example, pretty much anything that you see inside of C is going to have a weakness to lightning, or imps for some reason are considered giants, I think. But giants and those things are all typed as a giant. What different swords do is they have quote-unquote strengths or elemental bonuses that are good against certain things. Like the giant sword is, guess what, good against giants, and the coral sword is going to be good against aquatic, I believe is the type. So now that we've got that sorted out, what the X-Cal does is says, hey, do you have a type? And if you do, this sword is good against it.
Yep.
So it essentially transforms into whatever strength it needs to have, and then I don't exactly know how the numbers work when it's +30 versus +10.
I think +30 basically means that it's going to do about 3 times as much damage as it would normally do with the buffs turned on properly, which is like I think 150% damage, because I want to say the elemental type bonus does 50% more damage than normal, but don't quote me on it. Hopefully somebody in chat will know more about it. Petron's here. He knows about dev stuff. But
of maths.
Yeah, but Channigan coming in here, doing what I would have hoped to see against Kraken, going full on, just forget about Brack. We may as well try to do as much damage as we can possibly do. X-Cal going to come out, 7 hits, 823. So Tiamat is a dragon type, right? He is a dragon. X-Cal going to do all that extra damage anyway because it does extra damage to any sort of types. But if you had the dragon sword, it would also do extra damage. Kraken aquatic, like you said. Carry is an magical type beast, or like a magic beast type, and Lich is undead.
It just
type.
as point of note, most of the fiends are mage types. On top of everything else they are also.
They can have multiple types.
Yep.
But those are the ones that I like to. If you don't have the rune sword, the dragon sword will do against Tiamat, is what I was trying to kind of get at there.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you're right.
Well, it makes the rune sword extra nice as well, because if you do find that, and you happen to have like worse weapons on, sometimes that rune sword can carry you through the game.
Oh yeah, we've seen it where people haven't been able to find a different weapon, and it's just, well, I got a rune sword +2 and a pocket full of dreams. I'm in.
Yeah, so Channigan doing a little bit of last minute shopping before heading into Topher, just getting some stuff on the night. Because we did have the level 1 black magic, but knights do obviously learn night spells, level 1 through 3 magic, and gives you a little bit of those extra charges of the level 1. So he may have more charges of nuke than he would have had prior to this. Changin and Topher, around the 45-minute mark, Shumbabi is trying to light up that fire orb.
So Shumbabi, after all of the trials and tribulations that he has had to go through, he's not that far behind. He has 1 minute in here, another minute and a half in Earth Cave, and we're there. So this 45 minutes later, this brings me back to the original point, kind of full circle. Like, I am terrified of Chanigan's party in here, because if he doesn't get turn order on a boss and they have nuke or nuclear or something, we only have one ribbon. If 2 of his characters go down, it is going to be a hot mess trying to get through the final fiends.
Yeah, Chanigan not even a deep Topher dive away from Shumbabi catching up. So what I say by that is, like, you know, we've got our equalizers. Everyone always talks about your Kraken 2s, your Tia 2s, and your Chaoses. If he wipes on any of those 3 people that I just mentioned, Chaos, Kraken 2, Tia 2, Shumbabi has a chance. And is probably already in Topher by that point.
And keep in mind that, so going through this, we have taken a look at what's kind of scary. So we know that the Gurmadusas are very scary. They have lit 3 they like to ambush. That's the first thing we're going to be looking at. In Sea Shrine, we didn't see a lot of things, but those lobsters didn't seem like they had too much. And then the last point I will make is Chanigan is taking some battles, because even if he wipes, he's going to save automatically. So any levels that he gains, he's going to get continuing going on. It makes Topher wipes not as bad. Still bad, but not as bad.
Shum getting his fire orb lit up, and then of course he's going to head into Earth Cave here in just a moment. We are seeing our first Fiend refight. It's pretty standard move against Lich, even with 500 to 750 HP. Throw 3 nukes out there and attack with that X-Cal. Not even going to see the X-Cal come out. Nukes are going to take him down. We're level 23. Things are going pretty good here so far.
And we didn't run into any of those Gurmadusas.
Yeah, and that's pretty big. Just, if you get ambushed by 7 of them, even with a ribbon, and it lit 3 is going to do a lot of damage to a sub 400 red mage. 7 of those lit 3s,
I think Carrie is going to be the first boss that I am scared of. Because Carrie can still hit really hard. Opens with the Fire 3, and Carrie has great magic defense. You wouldn't be able to tell based on that 382 nuke roll. It doesn't defend against the X-Cal, though. I don't know why. Why was I even worried, Greggly Puff?
I mean, Carrie does have 700 to 1150 HP. I mean, that's nothing to shake a stick at, is all I'm saying. So, I mean, things could have gotten really ugly there really quick. That Fire 3 could have easily been a nuclear Bane, Zap. I mean, those are things that could devastate the party.
Wait, I wasn't watching on Shumbabi's. He wiped out of Earth on something.
I missed it too.
I didn't see what it was, but it looked like it took out a couple of his party members. But let's focus on Chanigan really quick, taking on Kraken 2. He moves the Knight down, puts a Black Mage up as a sacrificial Black Mage, gets off the Invis 2 stack, so maybe... Oh, Kraken opens with a nuclear, low rolls across the board.
Yeah, huge hit from that X-Cal, but that nuclear is scary. Another big hit out of that X-Cal, and Kraken 2 is down.
So nuclear can roll between 80 and 320, and it doesn't care if you've got a ribbon because it's a non-elemental spell. So it will go against your magic defense to see if it does, 80 to 160, or if it'll do 161 to 320 or whatever it is.
That's it. That's what we were just talking about. This is it right here. No life. I mean, unless he decides to lean into that red mage, I mean, he doesn't have life charges. He has to come back through. Wizzags will crack, being the equalizer, realizing, yeah, probably should have had the ribbon on the fighter.
Oh, something has squint. Werewolves have squint, which is just given Shubabi. So this is what happens. You get all this wonderful magic, you get all this wonderful item placement, and in Earth Cave, Earth Floor, and in Sea, just a bunch of terrible stuff is happening. And yes, J-Man pointing out that Chanigan decided to just reset instead of saving the couple of levels that he got. He's going back to buy some gold bracelets. Putting that ribbon on the fighter, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, with the fighter, he's got fast at level 1 on the fighter. He's got a power bonk. He doesn't have a defense, but he can make things happen. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of this goes. Hopefully, he just doesn't see those with sags, and he can make his way through here. But as we said, I mean, that wasn't even like the deep wipe that I was talking. I mean, it was a deepish wipe because we were at Kraken 2, but I mean, Shumbabi's only like maybe a minute and a half behind Chanigan now because of that deep wipe. And if he had the white mage that, you know, Dead Pulse was talking about with the ribbon on it, he could have gotten out of that battle, life 2'd everybody up, and then could have kept going. So these are the kind of scary things that can happen in a long Topher when you go power and speed and you don't have enough ribbons.
Yeah, that's not saying that Chanigan's strategy is not correct or can't work. It's just that's what makes me nervous. If he didn't hit that crack, honestly, he was already onto Tiamat with all 4 characters. He could have easily got there. Not to contradict you and then myself and all of this, but whatever. It's hard because when you give advice about like a party select on someone, when somebody asks me, "Oh, what party should I take?" I don't have just one answer. And there isn't one correct answer to take for the most part. So,
yeah. When I say
my bets here,
yeah, and when I say it was like exactly, it's just the risks that you take with Chanigan's party. It's not a bad party. This is the party I would have picked, but it's the risks that you take. These are the things that can happen when you run a speed and power party versus a party that you have guaranteed access to life. That Shumbabi has, something like Crack with Sahagins, something like Lit 3, Germaduces that could take your whole party out that ambush. Luckily, we didn't see anything crazy out of Lich. Lich attacking, so again, nothing too crazy out of Lich. Carry would have carried up with a Fire 3, and we never really saw anything else. And then Kraken, we didn't see anything out of Kraken because there was 2 massive hits.
Oh no, Kraken only with nuclear. Yeah, that's terrifying because we didn't even see a spell. So nuclear is a skill, if I'm correct.
That's correct. So there are 4 nuclears in the pool because basically, Chanigan, burning off encounters because he doesn't want to see any encounters on the C4. Smart move here on Chanigan's part.
This is excellent. Go ahead, Gregory. Nuclears, 4 of them in the pool, you say?
4 of them in the pool. All 4 of them come from Warmech. So Warmech and all the Fiend refights and Chaos, all of their skills and spells get shuffled into the main boss pool. And so that's why you kind of have an idea of what the 4 final bosses, Chaos and Warmech, are going to do because they only come from those 6 enemies. But there aren't a ton of skills in the pool. With Warmech having those 4 nuclears, nuclears, more than likely you're going to see a nuclear from one of these guys. Is all
well, there's also, nuclears, there's ink, there's...
there's 4 inks from, let me get it straight. There's 4 nuclears from Warmech. Lich doesn't have any skills. Carry doesn't have any skills either. Kraken 2 has 4 inks. Tiamat has a bunch of skills like Blizzard, Blaze, but oh no, Crack coming back out!
No.
Doesn't get away, but gets out. Gonna take out those Wissags, so no red mage. That's better than where we were before.
Yeah, this is the turn order again.
And then Chaos has Crack, Tornado, Swirl, not Tornado, sorry, Crack, Swirl, Inferno, and What's the... There's a wind. Sea. What's the sea one? Swirl? No.
No, I think that is swirl, yeah.
Yeah.
There's swirl, tornado, blaze, and blizzard. Whatever. The point is, there's a lot of skills and spells that can go around. Kraken clearing again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so here we are again, potentially trying to get through this Kraken. Luckily, doing a lot of damage here. The only issue here is we're doing tons of damage against these Fiend refights, but Chaos is not going to have those same weaknesses that these Fiend refights have.
Oh.
We're not sure what that Excal is going to do against Chaos.
While we were paying attention to Chanigan, Shumbabi was checking a bunch of chests, trying to get a ribbon, because Shumbabi didn't clear, so we only found one ribbon so far on stream, and that was Chanigan clearing out the armory. Shumbabi didn't find that. Shumbabi doesn't have any ribbons.
Yeah, but he's got wall at level 6. And I know that's not, I mean, it's a ribbon, but you got to cast that ribbon, right?
We're going to be casting it quite a bit.
So here we go, keeping the fighter in the front row. I like this play just to keep that Black Mage alive as long as you can. Lit 2, the most prominent spell in the Fiend refight battles, because Kraken has 8 Lit 2s. So that's why there's so many of them in there.
Oh my.
Here we go, Rub coming out doing nothing. 7 hits, 778. So we've done, this next hit's got to do it. This nuke might do it. Didn't. But Whoop going to take down Tiamat. So we are down to Chaos here if he can get off this floor.
But I mean, he's got the essential. He's got fast. He's got tempers. He's got power gauntlet, I believe. He has invis too. I don't think he has any other sort of. Maybe he's got cure 3 at level 1.
Yes, because I know he picked up cure 3 on level 1 for the red mage. So I'm sure he went back and grabbed it for the knight, because we do have the extra, like the cure 3s do better curing. The improved curing, as they say.
Improved cure. Now
right,
improved cure.
So Chaos Attacks does not one-shot the black belt or black mage, so that's pretty good. Trying to figure out what he wants to do here. Lock 2 taking down that evasion from Chaos, and Invis 2 just to kind of buff up his evasion. Right, Lit 2 takes down the black mage, so you've got power bonks and a dream here. Shumbabi on Lich 2, so not too far behind Chanigan. Slow 2, did it land?
Slow 2 did land, but we got fast.
Luckily, having fast at level 1 to counteract that slow 2. See, we're not doing quite as much damage, and now Chaos is attacking, and that's scary. Oh no!
No!
And now, just like that, Shumbabi ahead.
Chaos just pulling out just all the stops there, just Lit 2, Ice 2, and then decided, you know what, I need to warm up these fists of mine.
Yep, and now he's going to pick up that Cure 3. There we go.
So let's see what kind of trouble, and you see, just like that, anything can happen in these races. Chanigan looks like he was in the driver's seat, ran into some quite honestly, bad luck inside of Topher. His party is not the best party for what happened, and it clearly shows. It could have gone the other way, where Chanigan just blazed through Topher, finishing at 50 minutes or whatever. But so this can happen during races. You got to be prepared, and I think Chanigan's made some very good adjustments. Exactly what I would expect out of him.
Yeah. I mean, that Chaos battle could have easily gone the other way, where Chaos had just done a bunch of spells that were inconsequential spells, things that wouldn't have mattered to that fighter. But for whatever reason, Chaos decided to go 3 rounds in a row with attacks, and that was just no good. Crack coming out here, able to dodge a bunch of cracks, has that life 2, can bring up the black mage, but man, was so lucky that white mage didn't wipe there.
Oh my, that would have been terrible. That would have ended that.
Yeah. And the white mage doesn't have any bonuses to MDEF or anything, so that was just a lot of luck there. So let's see how his Kraken battle goes. We know we got nuclear coming out of Kraken. It's got fast coming out here. Attack, 8 hits for something. I missed it.
8 hits for several damage.
I'm sure it was a ton of damage. It was the next scalp plus.
Kraken deciding to punch instead of nuclear.
That's the first time we've seen an attack from Kraken, and it actually didn't take out that fighter. Here comes the fast.
Free turn.
So we're not even going to see the nuclear here, as this should do it. 8 hits, 927. So Shun doesn't even know about the nuclear, the first turn nuclear there on Kraken. Oh, we got more of these cracked
this is off the hard reset.
Oh, stun. Here comes the crack. Is the white mage still up?
The white mage is still up.
Okay. That's so lucky. All right,
Just
Nuke taking down Nuke taking on the Wizhags, gets through the battle, still has a couple life 2 charges. Shanigan,
we only have 2 life charges left.
Can we talk about how fast Shanigan is? He's already on the fire floor. He's like only a couple floors behind Shum.
He's burning off those encounters again. Nice.
Yep. Doesn't want to see those. I like this play wall here. May as well get some ribbons out there, or at least protection on your life caster. 8 hits, some amount of damage that I missed.
No, we cast wall on the fighter. Honestly, depending on how many wall casts we have, I would have cast it on the white mage first.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You keep that white mage alive because of the life 2s. I mean, your white mage can fade down things if we need to, if things get scary real quick. 8 hits for more damage. We know it took Shanigan 3 rounds to take Tia down with that Excal 2. Shanigan threw carry 2 again, so only a floor behind Shum right now. This should do it. Shum gonna go on ahead and take on Chaos here in just a moment. Level 23. We know these rock galls have cremate, so hopefully he can get away from this before things get too crazy.
And Shumbabi onto the Chaos floor, full 4 party members.
Yeah, this is good stuff here. As Shanigan runs into these Wizhags again, please get away, gets the first turn run. All right, Shum talking to Chaos. Let's see how this battle goes. Tempering up, walling up. So going full on speed and power here. Doing all the right things, I think. We'll see how it goes. As fast comes out. Invis 2 to get everybody's evasion up. Wall to put a ribbon on that fighter. And Temper comes out. I didn't see what Chaos did.
Oh my, going back to Shanigan's stream, it looked like Kraken had Bane as the second spell.
So Bane after fast.
Well, we're getting our Invis stacks up. There's not a lot that is going to stop Shumbabi here, and I don't want to give a commentator's curse, but this is looking pretty good with ink coming out.
Yeah. There's a couple of inks here on the skills aside. I know Zap was somewhere before Chaos decided to start full-on attacking Shanigan. So Zap's really the only thing that could be scary to this party because it could take everybody out but the fighter.
Well, we haven't seen any nukes yet as well.
Yeah, we never got too far into what Chaos had because it was like Rub, Slow 2 I remember coming out, bunch of inks, Zap, Shanigan trying to get through this Tia 2. Here's Lit 2, takes down the Thief over on Shum's side.
On Shum's side, the fighter hit for 708 the last round, and Shanigan gets through Tia 2 with just the 2 members, and Shumbabi finishes with an official race time at GG at, where are we? 1 hour, 3 minutes, 48 seconds. Let's get some GGs out in chat for Shumbabi.
Yeah, so Want to talk about some things that happened off stream. Since we did have quite a few runners going on tonight, Shumbabi actually finished in 6th place with that 1 hour, 3 minutes, 48-second time. Our first place finisher tonight, one of our arbiters, first place, Devious RNG with 53 minutes, 18 seconds. One of our newer runners, Adam Droop?
ADR.
ADR, 57 minutes, 17 seconds in second place. Luffy, one of our admins, third place, 58 minutes, 47 seconds. Saracen, 58 minutes, 48 seconds. And just 1 second behind Luffy. Holy moly, that
That's
would have
going to be a
looked
retime.
unfair. Yeah, let's get a retime. Admiral Tryhard didn't do Duck Derby last time, decided he doesn't need to be a duck anymore, so showed up here with a 5th place time of 1 hour, 9 seconds. And then, of course, you already know where Shumbabi is with his time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, 48 seconds.
Oh,
Hopefully
no. Greg, I got to interrupt you. Chanigan going one-on-one, slow 2 hits, gets the fast off, but has a couple more invis stacks. 8 hits, 859. Zap comes out ineffective. Only 223 health left. 926 on the swing. Gets turn order, 648, and down goes Chaos for Chanigan. Official race time.gg, 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 44 seconds. That is good for 8th place. Velik finishing 7th place, just 2 seconds ahead, 105.42. Let's get our GGs out in chat for Chanigan as well. And we are joined by both racers on stream in the booth, Shumbabi, Chanigan, GGs.
Thank you, GG's.
Oh my, what a temple of fiends.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness. So Chanigan, you entered Temple of Fiends at roughly the 50-minute mark, I want to say. You were blazing through this. You made pretty much every right decision. You didn't see some of the stuff that Shumbabi had to deal with. But then you hit those crack whiz hags that just ruined your day.
Yep.
But we were commenting, you made the adjustments. You went and you bought a couple of gear while you were at there, bought Cure 3 for the fighter, were able to go back in there and on the third dive, make it happen.
Yeah.
But tell me your thoughts about the seed.
If it wasn't for those Wizag, man, I was going fast. I was surprised. But man, I started burning 2 encounters on carry 2 floor just to not get those Wizag.
Yeah, so you, instead of having 2 encounters, you'd only have 1 encounter,
Yeah.
which was a great thing to do.
Way better than 2.
But going over to Shumbabi. So Shumbabi, you beat Temple of Fiends on the first go through, which we commend you because there was a couple of sketch moments in there. But let's talk about the earlier game where everything seemed to be against you, bouncing you out of pretty much every dungeon that you entered.
You know, it was. I'm going to put it on me. It was my fault early on with routing decisions that wound up putting me in those dungeons that bounced me out too early. So it was just sort of. I made a couple of really early mistakes, and then it became a roll with the punches type of thing. And then Lich was just not fair. So I am gonna blame Lich on that one.
Yeah, the Lich one definitely, because you had, a caster of Nuke, 2 casters of Nuke technically, a caster of Fade, and you got turn ordered in there. Just awful. And then I think you got bounced out of Earth Cave again at the end game from.
Oh, that's true. I did. I forgot about that.
From something else, so it really didn't matter what level you were going in there. You didn't have any ribbons going in there. Chanigan, however, did find a ribbon in Volcano.
Volcano, yeah.
Yeah, I felt
was a
Volcano
huge
would be a very big bait kind of play because there was a good chance that the ship was there, and with it being all loose, I was like, yeah, I could probably get some gear out of this, but I could also just go straight to carry and finish the game.
Oh, absolutely. Over to you, Gregory Puff. What do you? Any questions that we had? I don't remember if we had any questions written down from the run that we wanted to clarify.
No, not really. I mean, these guys are both, veteran runners. So I would like to actually, instead of talking about their run, I would like to hear their advice on flags like these. So assume you took it as far as what's on stream was concerned. What advice do you have for Ducklings going into week 4 of the Duckling Boot Camp?
Oh, that's a great question. Looking at these flags at a glance, I kind of really wanted a black belt, and then I noticed that trap tiles were off and low encounters, and then I was like, no, this is definitely a fighter seed. And so I guess the biggest issue, and it's something that does get highlighted very early on, is that party comp has to be flexible, especially with the bonuses and malices that come out. Because I think that this entire seed is kind of made or broken at champ select.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I think that we talked about it before. I think Deadpulse, his idea for this is if you're thinking about party comp, is probably Fighter Rainbow is going to be your safest bet, depending on what the bonuses and malices are going to be. Because you're going to have kind of the wide gambit of everything. You're not going to run into the situation that Shanahan ran into in Topher, where you don't have a way to bring people back to life. Me personally, I loved your party, Shanahan, because I'm all about that speed and power.
Speed and power.
And yeah, speed and power. And there are, but with the speed and power does come the spoils of crack whiz zags.
Yep.
So it just is what it is sometimes. Shanahan, again, same question I asked you, Bobby. You're talking to a newer runner right now because they're out there watching. What advice do you have for them going into week 4 as far as these flags are concerned?
I'd say be sure to have something for your end game. Like, I had only one ribbon, no massa, no forepole, only a excal, which isn't that great against chaos. If chaos had anything nasty, that could have gone way worse than what it was. So maybe look at what's your win condition. Maybe have a better armor or something like that. For example, the fighter I was running with I run armor +5, which isn't that great if you can find a dragon armor or opal armor or something like that. But yeah, be sure to be prepared so you don't die 3 times into Topher.
Yeah, wiping out a Topher a ton like that, especially late wipes like post-Kraken 2 are devastating, as you guys watched on stream. So always have that win condition out there. Also remember too, because of the way the flags are set, checking as many of those spike boxes as possible.
Yep.
Give you the best gear that you can get. Unfortunately, we never saw more than the one ribbon. Looks like Reese did find, according to our FFR post-race spoilers, he did find the massa, so I'll have to ask him where he found that, but it had to have been, in one of those spike boxes. So, tomorrow, or tonight, later on tonight, when Dead Pulse releases that seed, just know that those boxes could potentially have the massa, like you mentioned before, like more ribbons or just better gear in general. And of course, they're going to always give you pretty decent EXP. Outside of that, I don't really have anything else. I appreciate you guys so much for doing this Platy Party tournament. 15 runners out there, that's pretty awesome. And you guys put on a heck of a show. Dead Pulse and I were having a blast in here. So, any final thoughts? I know that you guys kind of had final thoughts, but we'll go back to it again. Bobby, anything from you?
It's always fun to come back to see kind of the types of flag sets that build you as a runner. Because I was talking to Chad again pregame, and it's like, so we play such weird randomness that we forget how much fun it can be just to get kind of back to basics and just go through a good, just gentle but still kind of showing you the ropes type of seed. And I think that's what this was, and these flags were really fun to play. So thank you both for crafting them.
Yeah, of course. Shanahan?
A bit like Shumbabi just said, these flags are really well built. They're a blast to play. Be sure to read them. And man, I don't know what to say. It's fun. Thank you guys for doing the restream. Thanks RPG Limit Break, and yeah, I had fun.
From Deadpool, she got anything else for us?
No, I was just going to kind of take it around about. Thank you to all the ducklings. We're wrapping up week 4. Oh my goodness, we're 2/3 of the way through this boot camp. And it feels so great having runners like Shoe Bobby and Shanigan racing on stream, just to showcase this. But all the ducklings, we still have 1 week before the deadline for signing up for the Duckling Derby. So if you have not signed up yet, go on to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. Sign up for that right now. Time is running out. And this is going to conclude week 1 of our mini tournament, the Platy Party. I want to give congratulations again to Devious RNG for taking first place. And then some other notes. Thank you, Gregory Puff, for joining me in the booth. Thank you, Automotive Habit, for doing just an amazing job tracking for the first time. I had all the notes in front of me. Everything was perfect. So I think I found my new go-to for tracking. And of course, thanks Dark Moon for the restream. Thank you, RPG Limit Break. And Greg, if you have anything else on the Duck Derby, you go ahead and say it, and then I think we'll have Dark Moon take us out, right?
Yeah, just a couple more things real quick. So far, we have 25 signups. I think we have 12 on Sunday and 13 on Tuesday. So again, just that stuff will all be released next Sunday after the what my voice cracked here? What am I, 13? After the Duckling Boot Camp Platy Party reveal thing that's happening next Sunday night, we'll go on ahead and release all that information so the Ducks know when they're doing their Duck thing. I want to thank Shoe Bobby and Shanigan again for doing their thing. Join the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. If you haven't already, go to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com, click on the link for the community Discord, and it takes you here. We've got weekly races happening Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday night at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday night is the Pulse and Pulse variety hour, where we talk about VOD reviews. We, review your VOD. So if you have an idea for a flag or seed that is not boot camp or Duck Derby related that you want us to review, throw it in the thing. That's what we're going to do on Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch channel. And lastly, on Thursday nights at 8:30, Dark Moon hosts his extra credit on Final Fantasy Randomizer Twitch. Holy moly, that is a lot of information.
Oh, yeah.
So,
did you also include the weekly race on Monday?
I did. I said Monday. Monday
and Thursday after the extra credit.
Thursday at 10:30. It's so much going on. So that's just kind of what we have. Just join the Discord so you can kind of get an idea of what we're doing here. But we're constantly doing stuff. Lots of content if you're into that kind of stuff. And I'm going to go on ahead and take it over to Dark Moon. You guys have a wonderful night on RPG Limit Break.
Greg learning firsthand why, it takes me so long to get through all of it. Have to quickly ramble my way through everything I say right here. So yeah, Greg covered most of what I was going to say, but in case you just tuned in, like what you saw, want to see more, you're here on RPG Limit Break, and this is an RPG, feel free to come over to FinalFantasyRandomizer.com for links to the Discord and the development Discord, as well as the game itself, resources you can use to learn the game, and everything you need to be a part of Final Fantasy Randomizer. The schedule we have, which Greg went over, Sundays right now, 8:30 on RPG Limit Break is our Duck Derby, which is also the Platy Party races right now. 15 runners today. Hopefully we're going to see a few more over the next couple of weeks as we go through this 3-week event. That is, that is overlapping and coinciding with the Duck Derby. Learn about the game and see people racing all at the same time. Monday races at, what'd you say, Greg? 9 o'clock, I believe?
Yes.
Those are not being restreamed right now because we have enough streams going on right now. But you can still be a part of it. Those are async races. Not async. Those are off races that happen at 9 o'clock but are, not streamed but still open to anyone that wants to play. The Wednesday Puff and Pulse Variety Hour, 8:30 on Final Fantasy Randomizer. The 8:30 on Thursday Extra Credit courses, which for the next 3 weeks in celebration of the Platy Party, Luffy... I'm sorry, I always missay his name. Luffy, there we go. So I coughed through it this time, and I actually had the pronunciation right. Luffy and I will be racing those head-to-head to showcase more great racing action on the extra credit flags, which are different from the normal flags. Those will then have their async posted Thursday evenings immediately after that fun on-stream flag and race discussion. And then, of course, there will be another race that Thursday at 10:30. That's another off-stream race, but you are welcome to come and join. We've got other stuff going on as well. Full Duck Derby starts in January. Hopefully the Winter Dab event will pick up after that. And then, of course, we're heading into spring tournaments, so now is a great time to be a part of Final Fantasy Randomizer. From all of us in the booth, plus those in the community, everyone watching, I want to thank you for being a part of this stream. Hope you'll come and see more. All of Final Fantasy Randomizer is right there at your fingertips. We welcome you to join. And hopefully we will see you Wednesday on Final Fantasy Randomizer's Twitch channel, twitch.tv, Final Fantasy Randomizer. Thank you, and good night.